Remember, remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason and plot. The 5th of November is a very special time in the UK calendar. It's a time where you can see lots of fireworks and bonfires, people coming together, sharing drinks and sharing food as well. So what happened on the 5th of November in 1605 and why do people still celebrate it today? Henry VIII was the king who decided to leave the Catholic Church and form the Church of England. In doing so, he left the power of the Pope and became the head of state and the head of the Church of England. This gave the king a lot of power, but for many people who had been in the Catholic Church for all their lives and for generations before that, this was a big problem. They had to choose between choosing to follow the Pope and the Catholic Church or the King and the Anglican Church, the Church of England. In 1605, many large and wealthy families were Catholic. The church had only just left the Catholic Church, and the king was only just the head of the Church of England. But for many families, it was the Pope who was the head of the church, and it was unacceptable that James I of England should be considered the head of the church. In many houses like this, there were secret rooms where they kept Catholic priests hidden away, and they refused to attend the Church of England services. This caused a lot of tension in the country and a lot of danger for those Catholics and Protestants who disagreed with each other. It all came to a head in 1605. A number of Catholics had plotted to try to find a way to remove the king from his power and replace him with someone who would be sympathetic to their understanding of the church. On the night of November the 5th, the king had heard a rumour that there was a plot to kill him, and so he sent his soldiers to the Houses of Parliament. And guess what they found? One man and a pile of gunpowder, enough to kill the king and destroy the building and his family in it. That would have changed the course of English history forever. They arrested the man who said his name was John Johnson. Of course, that would have been a lie. Under torture, he revealed his true identity and the names of the people who had planned with him. Those people had raced up to the north of England, trying to escape and trying to raise an army to fight against the king. But of course, when the news travelled that the plot had failed, their support quickly evaporated, and they were arrested and killed, all of them. There are other traditions that make the 5th of November memorable, and one tradition is based on that story. People take their old clothes and stuff them up and make it look like a human body. That body represents Guy Fawkes, the man who was arrested beneath the Houses of Parliament. Using all of those old clothes, they throw it on the fire and imagine what was happening in the original story. Pretty gruesome. But other things are fun. Bobbing apples is a game that we play where we eat apples out of a bucket of water, but without using your hands. Sometimes we eat the apples by dipping it in toffee and enjoying that as well. Maybe I can show you some of the things that happen on a bonfire night. Fireworks and bonfires and lots of people coming together. So now, next time someone asks you about Bonfire Night or Guy Fawkes, maybe you can tell them this story, how Parliament was saved and the King escaped with his life. And what followed was a relative time of peace and celebration. So next time on the 5th of November, when you hear those fireworks and see the bonfire, remember the story. Remember the 5th of November.